Hello guys, my name is Mitko. Welcome back to another video. And today I really want to talk about another aspect of wealth that often goes undercover. Because when we think of wealth, we think about how rich someone is, what's their net worth, how much money do they have in their 401k, right? What are their financial assets? We don't think about their health. But in reality, health is wealth, right? Because at the end of the day, you can be the richest person in the world, but if you're sick, you're still losing, right? It means nothing if you can afford all these luxury goods and to go on these crazy vacations if you can't even get out of bed or if you're stuck in the hospital sick, right? Or we can even use Steve Jobs as an example. He was a billionaire. He had so much money, but even with all that money, he couldn't buy more time to be on this earth with us, right? So this really is interesting for me because for those who don't know, my family is from Bulgaria and we moved here. And growing up, I saw my family struggle from being really broke and really poor to start finding ways to build wealth and slowly build wealth. However, one thing that we have not been able to do is preserve our health, right? Again, being European, a lot of my family smokes and other habits that are really bad for their health. And I've really struggled with this battle over the past couple years to keep them encouraged and get them to realize that they need to take care of their health even more than they care about making money. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you make if you can't even spend it because you're so sick, right? And if you're so sick, there's a good chance you won't even be able to work to make this money. And at the end of the day, money can buy you comfort, but it can't buy you vitality. It can't extend your life. It can't buy you that health. It can't cure you, right? And it's really hard to implement this ideology in my family's head, especially my older brothers, because they're very stuck in the mindset that it's too late to change. And one thing is that it's never too late to change, right? There's a quote that is pretty cringy, but I like it. It's either one day or day one, right? It's all up to you. And the most important thing is to start. And the best investment you can ever make for yourself is to take care of your health, right? So like here's just like some things that I can think off my head that people who are super driven and really want to succeed might overlook, right? For example, if you're working like 16 hours a day because you really want to achieve this goal and then you're barely getting any sleep, like in the long term, I'm sorry, in the short term, it might be semi-sustainable, like maybe for a week or so, but in the long term, this is just not healthy. And I did a research paper in college for one of my classes, and the increase in cardiovascular risk and diseases just from not getting at least 7 hours of sleep was like crazy. Like it's something like 5 times as likely. Um, Further is skipping out on like working out, taking care of your body, right? Just like you have to keep your mind sharp by problem solving and thinking of solutions, you have to keep your body like able to move, right? We all have this idea that, we're gonna have kids and our kids are gonna have grandchildren, and we want to be able to interact with these grandchildren. We want to be able to play with them, pick them up, and stuff like that. And the way we get to that level is by starting now, right? It's by avoiding skipping those workouts because you need to train your body, even if it's something small, even if you start with just walking 10,000 steps a day, or if once a week you go on a 1 mile run, or if you start going to the gym 2 times a week, right? It's about starting and building up that habit and learning to embrace that consistency of improving yourself, right? And then you want to avoid skipping this just because you seem like you're too busy. At the end of the day, we all have the same 24 hours. It's your choice how you spend yours. I guarantee you there's people way up above you in life who are busier than you who will still make time for this because they know the value of improving your health over time. Another really big mistake is surviving on junk food and caffeine. Being in college, I see a lot of people do this. My fellow classmates, they don't want to cook, or it takes too much time, or they're lazy, or they don't know how to because they were never, like, they never learned by their parents. And to this, I think it's really silly because, like anything else, there's YouTube videos out there who will give you recipes and go step by step with you on how to cook. And the second thing is caffeine. I really see this as a big issue, especially in college. I know people who easily like take somewhere between 200 and 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, which is ridiculous, right? To put it in perspective, I believe like a coffee is like 60 milligrams of caffeine. And while I think caffeine is a useful tool, and I'm not saying never drink, never like use caffeine, like when it comes to when I have to study for my midterms or I really need to stay up later to get something done, I will use caffeine. I'm not saying to never use it and that it's like some evil, but I'm saying it's like to use it responsibly because everything when it's overdone to a certain extent, it becomes more harmful than it is beneficial to whatever you're trying to achieve. And another thing is ignoring stress. Yeah, to ignoring stress and not taking care of your mental health because this plays a big aspect on your body and overall. Like this can be seen even like simple ways, like whenever you're really stressing over something, people start breaking out or like the skin starts getting irritated. And there's like other symptoms like that. And it's really like simple to overlook your mental health. I think we've been getting better with that over time. What I recommend is having like some place where you can document your thoughts. And for me, there's really always been like two go-to ways whenever I'm like really stuck on something in my mind and I can't get out of my head to help myself think through it and get past it, right? One of those is journaling, right? I have two journals. I have this small one I recently got. They were giving it out on campus. Um, Sometimes before I go to sleep, I just write like a page. Like it's not that big of a page. Maybe it's like five, 6 sentences. And I just maybe talk about what I did today. What am I happy about? What am I glad to have in my life? What am I grateful for? And what I want to improve on or what I find interesting in the day. It doesn't have to be anything super profound and deep every day. It's just nice to have a place where you can release some thoughts before you go to sleep. And another one is, again, working out or going on a run. Going on a run, especially for me, is very therapeutic, if it makes sense. Maybe it's something with the release of the endorphins that start kicking in when I run for a little bit, but it gives me this ease where I'm like, no matter what I'm going through, I'll get past it and everything will get better. And I'll look back on it and I'll just see it as that's one step of the journey. All right. So next, I'm going to talk about some habits that I think everyone should implement every day, and it's a really great place to start improving your health, right? And that is to move every day. First one. So this doesn't have to be insane. Like you don't have to be David Goggins and run 12 miles every single day. It could be something as small as maybe 8,000 steps a day or 10,000 steps a day, or instead of walking to the park that's like 3 minutes from your house, you could walk. Instead of, sorry, driving, you could walk to get active, be outside. It's good. Another really important thing is sleep. A lot of us either oversleep or undersleep, right? Or for example, maybe during the week you're running on 5, 6 hours, and then here comes the weekend, you sleep 12 hours for both days, right? Again, like I mentioned earlier, when I was doing my paper, I found that the sweet spot is between 7 and 9. If you go too much on either extreme, then you start encountering health negatives and like increased risks of things. And again, to mention, nutrition is super important, right? Your body is like a car, right? And the grade of fuel that you feed it is directly proportionate to the level of output you're able to produce. So if you take care of your diet and you feed yourself high quality ingredients, your output will be a lot higher quality and you'll be able to produce higher quality products and you'll be overall more valuable and you'll be able to have a clearer mind throughout the day and be more productive. And then another super thing, like I mentioned, is to figure out what works for you when it comes to managing stress. I already talked about what works for me. There's plenty of different resources and things you can research online. The important thing is to find something that works for you because at the end of the day, we're all different, and what works for me won't work for you, and what works for you won't necessarily work for me. It's about finding what is your key to unlocking that stress and releasing it throughout the day. And then what I really like mentioned, it's investing in your health is very similar to investing when it comes to your money, right? Obviously, you want to invest into something that's going to have good positive returns over time, and you know that great returns take time in the market over a long period of time to get there, right? So these are things like, you want to stay consistent with the gym over time, right? Because I mean, I am not going to say like I'm a bodybuilder or anything like that, but since I started lifting, I've definitely put on some pounds of muscle. But this isn't something that happens like in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 4 months, right? This is something that slowly occurs as you keep being consistent with it. It's your compounding. It's the compounding of your effort of you taking care of your health by going to the gym and showing up, right? And just like it happens in wealth, that compound gets more and more significant with time. It starts becoming a snowball, and your hard work starts paying off more and more. And another thing, like I mentioned, investing is to think long term, right? I'm not just working out now so I can grow muscles and think of like, oh yeah, I want to look jacked, right? I'm working out because I want to live a long and happy life. And for me, the way I've seen it, there's so many people that are miserable, and a big part of it is the fact that they don't take care of their health. They're obese and they can't do the things they want to do, or they don't have the energy. Like, this is the biggest one I hear, especially in my family. I don't have the energy to do this. I don't have the energy to do that. What people don't realize, you not having energy comes down to a few things. It's usually your diet, your bad sleep habits, and you not training your body, because those three help regulate your sleep, and they also help increase your energy so you're more productive during the day. So if you want to be healthy in the long term and live a long life where you can be there for your kids and see your grandkids and even grandkids, right? You got to start today and really be consistent with it so you can enjoy that compounding over time. Now, like I really mentioned, I truly believe that regardless of how rich you are, if you do not take care of your health, it will bite you in the end. So one thing that I really want you to take away from this video is not only to focus on your own health and start implementing techniques and ways of improving it, but it's also to motivate those around you, especially your family. And I know this is a hard one for a lot of people, but you have to realize your family is not going to be around forever. And if you want to have any impact on how long they are around, the best thing you can do is encourage them to start building healthy habits and taking better care of themselves starting today. So, with all that in mind, what's one thing that you want to improve on this year when it comes to your health? Or what's a goal that you have when it comes to health this year? As always, thank you guys for watching and take care. Have a great day.